I Got the Hell Out does contain explicit content that might not be suitable for some listeners, such as children, those that easily get offended, and we do recommend that listeners at work put your earbuds in if you have coworkers around.
And if you like the show, please spread the word by telling as many people as you can. Would also appreciate if you would subscribe, rate, hopefully with 5 stars, and review the podcast on iTunes. You can find us there as well as on Stitcher and Overcast. You can follow us on Twitter at WasInACult, on Facebook at I Got the Hell Out, and on Instagram at I Got the Hell Out with an underscore after each word. You can contact us through our website at IGotTheHellOut.com.
Hi guys, it's Deb.
Hi, and Laura.
And it's another wonderful episode of I Got the Hell Out.
How was your weekend?
My weekend was great. We do have a semi-guest today.
Huh?
Drunk Deb wrote the episode last night.
Oh, I was like, who the hell's at my house?
Nobody.
Drunk. Oh, this should be good.
Well, this was after a day of swimming, and we had Howard the Duck at the lake, and everybody went in to watch the Steeler game.
Okay. And what did you do?
I put my headphones in and was laughing out there hysterically, and I had, you would not believe the beer we went through.
Really?
Yes.
I find that so hard to believe.
Oh my gosh. Every time I turned around, I was like, we have to go to the beer distributor again? I think we went twice in one day.
Oh my God.
And it was like, you go open the cooler and there's, wait a minute, where's all the beer?
Oh my God. So a good time was had by all.
Yeah, and it was crazy because, we were just jumping night to night to different places. Mm-hmm. And we didn't go up to Erie to see the boats because it's this weekend.
Okay.
But like, it's 10 to 9 and my phone rings and it's Brother Bob. And he's like, I just passed you. And I'm like, no, you didn't. He's like, you're driving east on 322. I just passed you, or whatever road we were on. And I look up and we're driving on that road. And isn't that crazy?
Oh my God. You posted a picture of him.
I did. Yeah, because we ended up.
Funny.
His brother has a camp there. And so we all hung out at Brother Bob's camp. Hi, Bob. Went to Conneaut, and that is like the best amusement park. There's no fences. Mm-hmm. You just buy an armband for $10 all day long rides.
Wow.
Okay.
$10.
Yeah, and you can. There used to be a bar there, but it burnt down. But anyway.
Like you needed an extra bar.
Well, that's where we would send the kids to go play in the amusement park, and you can just sit there and watch them and wander in and out. Anybody who knows Conneaut, it's great, okay? And we were talking about the duck on Facebook, and I was trying to write a response to a Janelyn S., and autocorrect went from deck to dick to
God.
duck. Okay, now how many, usually, autocorrect always picks the word that's not a swear word.
Right.
And in this instance, it picked dick before it picked duck. I was in tears.
Oh God! What did the sentence say?
I don't know.
You don't remember?
I don't remember, but I was. Come on now, Drunk Deb wrote this.
That's true.
So I need to read some comments about that real quick. By the way.
About what?
About
the dick duck?
About Howard.
Oh.
Okay. Let me find him. Okay, here's Howard. And shout out to Danny Pollard, who runs the Working Stiffs podcast.
Yes.
He says the rubber ducky is also the official mascot of Ale Storm. Remember our?
Oh, I did see him post
our
that.
Scottish,
with the anchor.
Fuck you with an anchor. Yes. So
that is just funny that's their mascot.
I think it is too. But yeah, we named him after Howard the Duck. Okay. Played Mega Jenga. It was pretty cool. Mm-hmm. With 2x4s. Have you ever played?
I've never even heard of it.
It's Jenga, but it's with 2x4s.
Right, I've never heard of it.
But not all the way long 2x4s. About a foot long.
Okay.
Okay, yeah. Anyway. Okay, what else do I have here? There was like a dozen or more people at camp, and it was really weird because this couple came up, and guess what their names were?
What?
Marie and Bob.
No.
Yes. I had no trouble. It was like Bizarro World. I had no trouble remembering.
Exactly.
People's names. So shout out to you guys. Got a couple more listeners, And I got handed holy water. Did you see that?
I did see that.
Went to the Indian Festival Parade, and I got handed God water. And, everybody was talking about, don't let it burn you and being a heathen. And, Yeah. And Cheryl M. I didn't really want to get into it with telling them they're killing the planet with plastic, but that is the heaviest water bottle plastic water bottle.
Oh, yeah.
It is thick. You can't even squash it.
Usually they're real flimsy.
This one, you could hit somebody with it and hurt them. So, and Lindsay M says it's for any future exorcisms. Okay.
You never know.
Lisa P said add some Kool-Aid to it. Shout out to Elder Pete, who we've been reading off of his
yes
website, trying to expose these people. Correct. Mm-hmm. Shout out to you, dude. And Laura, I believe you might have something to more read from him.
To more read?
Okay, my grammar ain't all that good today.
To more.
My brain is still probably pickled from the weekend. Okay.
Oh my God.
What? Okay.
Oh, you're cracking me up. Okay. So there's like bits and pieces here because some of the stuff he repeats again, so I'm trying to pick that out.
You pick or you?
I'm trying to pick it out. Okay. So he goes on to say, the stories you will read on this site reveal a complex, diverse culture of people from all over the world who came to the cult to find prophetic scriptural truths. The faith of these sincere, honest, loving people and the children who followed them there with no choice is their testimony to the effects of what Little Man has done in their lives.
Oh, yeah.
These people gave 100% of their heart, mind, and soul to an organization and a man that who claimed to care for them and promised them the gift of salvation through the teachings of the Holy Scriptures. But instead, many left financially broken-hearted, disillusioned, fearful, paranoid, physically and emotionally scarred, and many have lost their faith in the Creator.
Hell yeah, I fit most of them, as do most of the people who have left there.
The teaching of God's laws aren't bad, it's the bad messenger who twisted them to suit his needs and desires. That was wrong and harmful to the unsuspecting believer.
Yeah. The mind control, they take the money from you. The physical scars come from a lot of the labor and the unsafe practices that they use. OSHA, I swear, an OSHA manual goes up in flames every time they start a new project out there.
Oh my God. Could you imagine OSHA going there?
But they're protected.
Oh, that's right.
So, yeah. I mean, come on, they excavated underneath the entire sanctuary. I'm seriously surprised that thing has not fallen under yet. Do you know what I mean?
Wow.
And I don't know how many square feet it is, but it's concrete slabs. So, hope y'all don't end up in the sub-basement sometime.
Oh my God. Okay, it goes on to say, instead of reading the Bible, the congregation has been trained to read the, quote, Book of Little Man, which are transcripts of his sermons.
Yeah, that's crazy. That started after I left, and I talked to a few people about it. And you're required to buy these books.
Yep, that's the next sentence. It says they get to purchase them at $29.95 to $35 per book.
Yes.
Currently, there are 11 volumes, so you do the math.
This must be an old article because I think they're up to like book 19.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
but $30 to $35 a pop.
Yeah.
That's a shit ton of money.
Well, they also want you to get the tapes so that you can listen in.
Oh, that's right. That
along.
24 hours a day garbage, like play them while you sleep.
Right, but if you actually have the sermon tape, which would... I say tapes because that's what we had back then. You know, that's like saying a floppy disk for your computer.
Right. Half the listeners are probably like, the what?
Yeah. Anyway, it's recommended that you get the tapes and the books so that you can play the sermon and hear Little Man's voice while you are...
So it's like
eyes,
visually and auditory.
Yes, you
are
my God. Double indenting it into your head. So I would go insane.
That is freaky.
Do you think that's some kind of hypnotism?
Some kind of mind control.
Mind fuckery?
Yeah.
I had a friend who worked in the crow's nest up where the recording was. Mm-hmm. And they claimed that, there were subliminal messages put into those tapes.
I wouldn't doubt it.
I never could figure out a way to figure out how, if there was in there.
Mm-hmm.
But they've done things with the TV. Not the cult.
Oh, I was like, the what?
People have experimented like on TV. Like there'll be a second picture behind what you're watching.
Oh, they do that in commercials a lot.
And only 1 out of every 100 people can see this, or something like that. But I don't know with what they would have put on the tapes. Is it subliminal?
Probably give me money.
Drum beats, or give me all your money?
Something has to, I bet you. I bet it's something to do with money.
I don't know.
You don't like your money, give it to us.
Yeah. Speaking of which,
oh
go.
My God. If you are into science fiction, you can get Birth of the Nuclear Baby, a book of false prophecy predictions based on Little Man's 30-year nuclear war mind fantasy.
Yeah, the bitch been pregnant for 30 years now.
Oh my God.
The nuclear baby, it's coming, it's coming. But then remember, he changed it to the prophecy can happen
anytime. That's right. That's right. So with all these books, it says more money in his pocket to churn the machine. All books are copyrighted in his name, yet the members think that the money goes to the cult. And for convenience of commerce, he has set up a website where you can purchase them. If you notice this site, the church doctrinal books are cheaper because they are the ones that are slow moving and hardly ever promoted by the church to buy.
Yeah. Nobody wants that shit.
When you send them your donation for the books...
Oh, yeah, it's always a donation.
The Kohans accept your money on behalf of Little Man with a big smile.
Well, hell yeah. I mean, they print it all themselves. They bind it all themselves. It's nothing but pure profit. And you throw in, the sweatshop labor of the kippahs and the tallits and the headscarves. And my gosh, they probably even make them buy specially blessed over rubber gloves to wear when they're unclean.
Oh, probably.
Remember, there were the elders' wives wear black ones.
Oh,
where do you get black rubber gloves?
Who the hell knows?
I don't know.
That's a good question.
I don't know. Don't know.
I don't know either. Okay, so then it goes on talking about Little Man and his followers condemn all religions, especially the Catholic Church.
Oh, yes, and the Pope is the puppet, Satan's puppet.
According to his edict and command, his corporate church, the cult, is the only place on earth where anyone can find salvation. His website promotes his hatred for all religions.
Yeah.
One of his teachings that he brought out a few years ago is that he is God to them. His followers worship him and would do anything he tells them to.
That's when my one friend left. That my friend Sherry that I talk about that's deaf.
Mm-hmm.
She actually stopped her interpreter because I always ask people when I come across them, what was the straw that made you leave? What broke you?
Mm-hmm.
And she said she'll never forget. She's told me she'll never forget sitting in services. And she stopped her interpreter and made them repeat like 2 or 3 times.
Oh, wow.
Did he actually say he is God? And at that point, she just never went back.
Wow.
So, yeah, her trailer is still rotting there. Poor thing. Anyway.
For those of you who have your story to tell, we applaud your courage and faith in coming forward to reveal Little Man. For some, this will be a dangerous endeavor, others therapeutic, and for many, a weight of many years of guilt lifted off their shoulders.
Yep.
No one should have to carry around guilt, shame, or burdens that were placed on them by the most psychotic man they have ever met. Little Man brags about being the most hated man on earth, and it should be no amazement to those who have experienced his lies, deception, and control as to why his teachings have caused him to be declared an evil psychotic sinner who blasphemes the great name of God and destroys the faith of many of God's called out ones.
Yep. There's a handful of people that leave there that still go by the name of God. And the laws, I've said this, in the beginning, I think. But yes, I don't understand how people leave there and they're still following the name of God.
Mm-hmm.
And they'll just join another congregation, or they'll say, God will teach me what I need to know. And they just have their scripture book and they don't belong to a congregation of any sort. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I had something to add to that that you were reading, but but you just kept reading and I don't remember what part it was now.
You shouldn't have interrupted me.
I don't know. Oh, I know why I didn't interrupt you.
Why?
Because it was on the radio, and that was serious, and this is kind of funny.
Oh, okay.
There's over in Japan or somewhere.
Mm-hmm.
They now have a 6 foot tall AI robot as a Buddhist priest.
What?
Yes. It gives the young people something that they can relate to over there.
Oh
and they're
my gosh.
Yeah. I thought it was like onion news, but no.
Like robotic priests.
It's a 6 foot tall robotic Buddha priest.
That is weird.
That has AI.
Wow.
Yeah. I don't know.
AI is kind of freaky.
I am telling you.
Oh my gosh. Do you want to go to Twitter?
We can go to Twitter.
We actually have a question from the podcast connoisseur.
Nice. Hi,
Yes.
guys.
It says...
I waved.
Well, hey. YouTube channel.
Oh, gosh.
Oh, my gosh. Okay. There are Old Testament religious sects or cults here in America that have made women cover themselves from head to toe, then banned them from laughing because men were turned on by that.
Yes.
What can we do that will not turn a man on? Please tell me. So basically, is there anything that the women...
Giggle boners. Remember we talked about giggle boners?
Yes.
That was our very first Twitter question, by the way, I think.
I think it was, yeah.
I don't know, but I had an interesting conversation with a guy who has a husband.
Mm-hmm.
And he said that, he grew up, of course, in locker rooms, going to camps, and he was surrounded by guys that he, would have liked to have been with.
Right.
Okay? And not once did he inappropriately touch somebody. Not once did he, rape somebody.
Because you don't do that. That's just like, that's not, yeah.
Okay, see, here in America, it's not she had too much to drink. It's not what she was wearing. It was not any of that. I taught my son what no means and what it means to do that to another woman. Mm-hmm. We don't need to be teaching our daughters to dress more modestly. We need to be teaching our sons not to be rapey.
Right.
And to respect all people. Think about it. How many women might have grown up with you going to school, forced into the locker room, swim club, camp?
Right.
And maybe they were gay or lesbian.
Right.
But did they
definitely.
Did they try and attack you in the showers?
No.
So the question, to answer the question, boys need to be taught that, women are not objects to just be fucked with.
Exactly. Well, there was a thing I just read, probably on Twitter, because that's where I get all my news, right?
Right.
No, but there was a high school somewhere that everyone's up in arms, and rightly so, that I guess they just started school now, and so hot out and humid,
right,
that some of the girls were wearing like sleeveless shirts. Like not even the little tank top ones, but just like sleeveless shirts.
Okay.
And some of the guys were wearing muscle shirts. And the girls had to change, but the guys didn't have to. Because they were saying to the girls that, oh, the boys are looking at you. What a crock of shit.
I'm just saying that our society is teaching girls that...
It's their fault.
It's their fault,
which
it's not. Secondly, that their education is secondary to a boy's. And for anybody out there who disagrees with me, just remember, everybody has opinions. We can't all agree all the time. We should also be teaching our children not to avoid subjects, but to discuss them civilly and to understand that everybody is not going to have the same opinion you have.
You just said the key word, discuss.
Yes.
Which means it's a two-way street.
Now,
it doesn't mean talking to somebody. It means talking with somebody.
I grew up with, asshole Bill, and one of his sayings was, you don't discuss religion and politics. It always ends in a fight. Well, that's because nobody ever taught people to civilly discuss this stuff. Right. You go to church. I don't. You know what I believe. I know what you believe. And we can discuss stuff.
Yeah.
I'm not out to change your mind.
And I'm not out to change yours. And I totally respect
and
what you believe.
And I don't think you're stupid for what you think.
Right.
I mean.
And I certainly don't think you're stupid for what you think or don't think.
What a horrible world this would be if everybody was the same.
Oh, could you imagine how monotonous it would be?
Yeah. What were we talking about?
I don't
before
even know.
Oh, the question on Twitter.
Yeah.
Is there anything women can't do? I did my part. Like I said, I tried to teach my children to respect everybody. At one point, I was dating a guy that had 2 girls, and they lived with us because mom was a crackhead, but that's a whole nother show. Anyway, I sat them down when they were, 10 or 11 years old, and we had a nice talk. And I told them, that you can't falsely accuse boys of this either, because that can ruin somebody's life. It isn't a joke. It isn't, I'm mad at you and I'm going to get you in trouble. So, society needs to start talking about more shit.
Absolutely.
And
not be embarrassed of things.
Exactly. People try and sweep stuff under the carpet, and you dated a guy who did that under the carpet.
Oh.
Anyway,
that's another whole podcast.
That's a whole other. We could have a podcast on a million things. Do you know that?
No.
Just off subject for a minute, okay?
Mm-hmm.
Told you we drank a shit ton of beer this weekend, right? Everybody's in watching the Steeler game, and we had just come back from swimming. Put the duck away, and getting dinner ready, getting ready for the Steeler game, and I sit down to write the show, and I can't find my phone. Okay.
Oh, where was it?
I knew I had
Holy
it.
Shit.
I knew I had it when I came back.
Was it with Howard?
No. Howard was stuffed in a bag by then.
He was deflated.
He was deflated and in a bag. Somebody lent me their cell phone. I rang my phone. It ended up being 55 times. I was almost in tears.
Oh my God. I would have been crying my eyes out.
The thing was, it was turned off, but I could hear it vibrating.
Oh, shit.
I could hear it vibrating. And
where was it?
I looked for this thing for almost an hour and a half. Do you know what I did with it when I got out of the car?
What?
I stuck it on the roof.
Ah.
And here I am tearing the inside of the van apart.
And it's on the roof.
And it's on the roof.
Did it bake in the sun?
No, it was dark by then.
Oh, was there? Oh, okay.
But,
well, that's good.
Yeah, so much beer.
Drunk Deb.
Anyway,
what?
Shall we go to pending posts?
Sure.
Shall we?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Julie G says, I think the drug you were talking about in the podcast was ibogaine.
I have something about that, yes.
Shall we save it for next week?
I can run downstairs and get the paper.
If you do that, you're going to pause it and I'm going to smoke a cigarette.
Well, then why don't we do that?
Okay, be right back. We're back.
We're back. That was quick. Okay. You ready? It's pronounced, this is what YouTube told me, it's pronounced ibogaine.
Okay.
So we're going to go with that.
Okay.
It could be right, it could be wrong.
Okay.
But it's a naturally occurring psychoactive substance that has been demonstrated to interrupt substance use disorders, as well as possess other neurological and psychological benefits. It comes from a plant, so it is natural.
Okay.
But in lower doses, it acts as a stimulant, increasing energy and decreasing fatigue in a way that is distinct from other central nervous system stimulants like amphetamines and cocaine.
Okay.
In large doses, it can put a person into a severe psychedelic state. Some people have found that large doses reduce opiate withdrawal symptoms and help with substance-related cravings. Before I go any further, there's 4 websites I found this from. So if people want to go and,
read up on it.
Yeah.
There's books too.
Yeah. One is healthline.com, the good old webmd.com, drugwarfacts.org, and ibogainealliance.org. That's IBOGAINE alliance.org. So it's pretty interesting.
You said they found it a funny way.
Yeah, they found it kind of a funny way that's, let's see here. It was inadvertently discovered by a 19-year-old heroin addict, which that's not the funny part, but just the fact that, I guess funny is not the word, but like they just stumbled onto it.
Okay.
Let's see here. They shared this, it was a bunch of college students, and they shared a common interest in experimenting and evaluating their experiences with various psychoactive drugs, including mescaline. And all of these drugs were not illegal at the time. So they were all very readily available.
Okay.
Which, yeah, you know. So then it said, rather than simply providing the hallucinogenic euphoric high that the group anticipated, the heroin addicts noticed that ibogaine actually alleviated their cravings for heroin.
Okay.
So, which is a good thing.
Always.
But according to this, it's very short-lived, and there can be a lot of side effects to it.
Oh.
So it's not like it's a cure-all, like we were talking about last week that it might be.
Right.
It's just like a short-lived...
Band-Aid.
Band-Aid. Yeah, pretty much. Band-Aid. And what I found was really interesting. Let me see here. Okay, they haven't... Since, like, the United States frowns on it, there haven't been a lot of tests done on it. So it's hard to say that what any long-term effects might be, like on any of your organs.
Right.
So it's... So it says, within 3 hours of ingesting a higher dose of it, the user will enter into the acute phase, typically lasting 4 to 8 hours. It is during this phase that the user experiences ibogaine's most intense effects, characterized as the panoramic recall of a large amount of material relating to prior life events from long-term memory, primarily in the visual modality or the waking dream state. If the user is an addict, he or she will usually be taken back to the place and time where the underlying issue leading to the addiction arose, allowing the addict to gain critical insight into the reasons why he or she abuses.
Okay.
Ibogaine doesn't eradicate the underlying cause of addiction, which for many people may take years to understand and come to terms with. It's more than a detox, but it's a catalyst, not a cure. Ibogaine creates a window of opportunity where the individual can cognitively choose to take back control of his or her life.
Very interesting.
Isn't that interesting? So
Yes.
it's like almost like it's like a truth serum type kind of thing.
I'm assuming you'd use that as in psychiatry?
Psychiatry. I mean, it's like, I wish they could do more research on it.
They might
To,
be.
you know what I'm saying?
I
Like
don't
to
know.
see if it's safe, because if it's safe, like I said, long-term effects for your organs, if it's a safe drug, that could definitely be part of helping people.
All right. Start writing letters, people. I don't know who to write them to.
Yeah, and I didn't mean that it was funny, the way that they didn't want to come across saying that it was funny that the heroin addicts were using this. I think funny was the wrong word. Incredible. Just that all these drugs were legal.
Viagra was originally for babies, wasn't it? Until they noticed it was giving the little babies hard-ons.
I don't know about that, but they use the same drug as Viagra basically, but it's called something different because it's a different strength. They use it for pulmonary hypertension. Okay, and I find this really interesting. We'll go with that word. That if you're a guy and you're taking this drug for your pulmonary hypertension, you're taking it 3 times a day, every day.
Oh my. Does that give them an erection?
I have no idea.
Because you see in the commercials, if you have an erection for more than 4 hours, you're supposed to seek medical attention.
I know, but they take it 3 times a day.
Oh, God. And poor cult people don't get any.
No.
No medicine for you.
No little blue pills.
No little blue pills. Oh, I'm sure little man has those little blue pills.
Oh, yeah. If he needs them, I'm quite sure he has a way to get them.
Well, I think he's about 90 now. 90-something. And it was crazy because way back then, everything was supposed to happen before his generation came to an end, which was when he hit 70. Okay?
Mm-hmm.
Well, then he hit 70 years old. And it was like, okay, why aren't you keeling over? Where's the end? Where's the end of the world? And then it was explained to me that, oh, well, the generation goes from 70 to 80. So it'll be within the next 10 years.
Okay.
But where did the 3.5 years go? Remember, it was always 3.5 years.
Right.
But now it's going to happen before little man,
Well, it didn't benefit him, so he can just change it to whatever. Right?
I just don't understand how all these people stay and stay and stay and ingest it.
Because he has an answer.
We're having technical difficulties. Isn't that funny?
There's a shocker.
We are the shit show.
Oh, God.
We're not sure how much we lost of time, so we're just going to go on to Pastor's bread sacks.
Okay, and we may have talked about them already. We may not have.
I don't think we did. Yeah, these ones are short and simple now. Through little man, we have hope, knowing our redemption draws near. Praise God.
All right.
Yeah, short and sweet. And the second one is little man is now grown and flourishing, bringing forth fruits that's befitting our repentance.
The hell's that mean?
I don't know. He's bringing forth fruit befitting our repentance. Because when you repent, that means you did wrong. So what fruit he's bringing forth for you repenting?
I don't know what the hell you're talking about. Moving on.
Moving on. Okay, that one goes in a garbage can. Hot off the presses, they have a link for prepping for disaster.
Oh.
Yeah, always got to be ready for them disasters. Look at that cheesy ass grin. I hate that. Oh my god, I hate that.
He's just creepy looking.
What would you do if you saw him climbing through your window?
Don't even go there.
Okay, well,
Man, talk about a nightmare.
Okay, this little beauty is from the Mark of the Monster, Part 2.
The what?
One of his books.
Oh, okay.
The Mark of the Monster, Part 2.
Mm-hmm.
Chapter 18, verse 261.
Okay.
The job of the house of God is to tell of those wonderful rewards in the first resurrection for those being called out by God during this very day and age. We do have a great calling, brethren. We need to be aware of this and to strive, work with all of our hearts and minds and beings to enter into the marriage supper of the Lamb on the sea of glass at the first resurrection.
Again.
You're eyeballing me. Well, he's saying that because you're there worshiping him now.
Right.
You're the first fruits.
Because you're worshiping him.
What? Well, yeah, because little man who
He's
rules
God.
is God.
Right.
So yeah, he's a very godly person.
Mm.
But the sea of glass and the marriage supper of the Lamb.
Okay.
That's something with Jesus
Right.
up on the sea of glass in heaven. I don't even want to remember what that's about. Now they put this on their page August 6th at around 2:30.
Okay.
And they're quoting Matthew after I read this. But I guess this is something little man said during the past sermon or something. Mm-hmm. The house of God will one day be the largest, most powerful ruling government on the face of this planet. But it don't begin that way. That is why Micaiah said the house of God will be promoted in the last days. It will be promised to rise above all religions and governments on earth. Little man's gonna rule everybody.
Oh.
He ain't just content in ruling heaven now. He's gonna rule the entire earth.
Okay.
And you know what? Little man must get the earth because remember we all get our own planets.
Oh God, I forgot about that.
Yeah, I want rainbow and glitters on my planet. I
totally forgot about that.
Yeah. And you get to teach, Eve, how she screwed all women up for, eternity.
You get to teach aliens?
Yes, the aliens. You got to teach them about God because they don't know about God.
Oh, okay.
But what if they try and eat us?
What if they're smarter than we are?
I'm sure they are. I'm sure they don't have nuclear weapons aimed at their own freaking planet. Let's put it that way.
Yeah, that's true.
Okay. We'll go back to a sermon dated of 2004, right after I left.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. I was just telling God how joyous everyone was this morning and how sincere you are and how you fall short, I know. But God is merciful. He knows those that are trying. He knows you're trying. He knows how hard his law is and so forth. So I'm not worried. You're going to make it. God knows you are. He said you were.
So he had a chat with God.
He had a chat with God.
I wonder if they had morning coffee together at Starbucks.
They
went to Starbucks.
With bread in the bread sacks.
They're chilling at a Starbucks having some latte.
Yeah, I was just telling God how joyous everyone was this morning. So this must have been an afternoon service during a
Because
feast.
God has nothing better to do than sit and chat with him, right?
With little man.
Yeah, exactly.
About how happy his congregation is.
Oh my God.
And God knows his congregation falls short because they're full of pedophiles. Come on. And other assorted things, right?
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, he's chatting with God now like he's his buddy.
Wonder if they have their own little booth at Starbucks. Like, is it a weekly thing?
I don't know. Maybe he invites God to the sanctuary.
Oh, could be.
Or, maybe little man takes the stairway to heaven.
But I'm from.
Okay. How do people eat this stuff up? Maybe because they feel special for the first time in their life. I'm going to be first.
Maybe.
I'm going to rule planets and aliens. And don't forget about microbes and bacteria. We make them do shit too.
That's right.
What do we make them do? Rise up the dead.
That, and I just remember microbes with little computers. I remember that.
Microbe computers. Oh, God. Little man goes on at one point to say that God has established his house as a people who are unchangeable. Well, if they're unchangeable...
why are you preaching to them to change?
Okay. Believe me, his work is cut out for him in establishing your authority, your position, everything among the whole universe up there.
Okay.
That's exactly what he's doing. That's what he said he was going to do, and that's what he's doing. He must be talking to God again. God's rearranging the universe for you, Laura.
Okay. All because of that Starbucks chat.
Establish means to render firm or faithful, to trust or believe, to be permanent, not wishy-washy like the waves of the ocean chopping you around.
Okay.
Have you ever heard anything like that?
No.
Wishy-washy like the waves of the ocean chopping you around.
Nope.
Okay. And, this all has to all be in their, stuff.
There's stuff.
There's stuff. We have another bread sack here. There's another one I don't get. The written word was brought back in 1611 for one purpose.
Which is?
So they didn't have written words until 1611?
No.
Or was that when the first Bible was published?
No.
Okay, well, they don't know. Okay. 1933, conception of little man.
Oh.
So they must have went back and figured out when his mom got pregnant.
Okay.
Okay. Now, apparently, if you subtract 1,611, which is the first time King James Version was published.
Oh.
Okay, I remember that now. Okay. You get 322. And then it says the tag of Van belongs to the last days prophesied witness, just as Deuteronomy 29:29. The every word was taught to him in the womb.
Okay.
So I believe this little bread sack here, gonna scratch some stuff out and post it later.
Okay, good.
But they're apparently saying when Lil Man's mommy got pregnant, minus the 1611, the year the King James Version was published, that equals 322. And I guess that's on his van. It's the tag on his van. What's with all these fucking numbers, people? Numerology? I mean, that's as good as tarot cards. Come on.
That's some made up shit right there.
You're looking at it.
I know I'm looking at it.
It's a bread sack.
Oh my God. You gotta post that.
At least they're doing math. What? Yeah, at least they're doing math. Okay.
Do you have any pending posts?
Oh, I gotta go back to pending posts. That's where I was trying to get to. You know me and this stupid phone. I gotta get something else.
What are you gonna get?
An assistant that knows what the hell they're doing. I love you, Marie. Okay, pending post. Diana L. She just wanted to give a list of horror and comedy movies. Throw this onto Facebook. Her favorites are Arsenic and Old Lace, Dolls, Shaun of the Dead, House on Haunted Hill, and Young Frankenstein.
Post that.
And a Denise S. Was wondering if any ex-members would like to share any of the special phrases that we learned in the cult.
Oh, that should be a good thread.
Okay. And, I'm always amazed at all of these weird Catholic saints.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Have you ever heard of Saint Hyacinth? Hyacinth. Hyacinth.
Hyacinth?
I guess so. I guess you heard of them.
I don't know what she does, but...
You can read how this saint miraculously fed a crowd of starving people with a pierogi.
She's the pierogi saint.
Did you know there was one?
No.
I like Jesus fed everybody with 2 loaves of bread.
She fed people with a pierogi.
I guess she fed people with a pierogi. So I'm going to prove this. Catherine K, thank you.
Oh, thank you so much for that one.
I will have to read that. Emma R just got out of the hospital, but she did promote the hell out of us to all our true crime fan nurses. They're going to check us out. Thank you, Emma. And I don't know what else do I have. You're going to get back to Julie G, right?
Yes.
On private message. Hi, Julie. And Mel gave us a little something here. A little signboard that says, I love when people who've been through hell walk out of the flames carrying buckets of water for those still consumed by the fire.
Oh, that's nice.
And I don't get this one, Melissa J. Never bring a stabby stick to a yeet cannon boogaloo.
Maybe she was drunk.
I don't know. That's a long gun. I'm not sure why. I'll prove it. Somebody tell me what it means.
Post it, yeah. If someone can explain what that is.
Okay, remember we were being politically correct last week, and I told you Dick Van Dyke had to change his name.
Yes.
Okay, so Brianne O, she just, had to let us know that Penis Truck Lesbian is her future ska band name, SKA.
What the hell's that?
I had to ask my son, and when he got done laughing, he said a type of music you would not like.
Oh, okay.
So, yeah, good luck with that. You might want to get with him, the man whose name,
Maybe Dick Van Dyke can join her.
Penis Truck Lesbian. That's his.
That's what I'm saying. Penis Truck Lesbian.
Okie doke. Megan H. And this used to drive me crazy too, and so I stopped thinking about it. Okay. Do you ever think about our calendar?
What about it?
Okay. September, October, November, and December are not the 7th, 8th, 9th, and 10th months.
And they should be.
By the way they're named, wouldn't you think?
Like SCPT, OCT, yeah.
Anyway, somebody says whoever fucked this up should be stabbed. Someone else answered and said, if I recall, they did used to be the corresponding months. It's just when the Roman leaders Julius Caesar and Augustus came into power, the months of July for Julius and August for Augustus were added, thus throwing off the numbering of the calendar. Good news, though. Whoever fucked it up did, in fact, get stabbed.
Alrighty then.
Little piece of history there, people. He fucked the calendar up and he got stabbed.
All right.
Okay, we're going to prove that one. Yeah, my son loves to throw stuff on here, Cult Baby. And this is 1 Thessalonians. I don't know what it does, but it just simply states the Lord is an avenger. And somebody made a little avenger toy with Jesus in it.
Oh, no.
Did you find me my nunchucks yet?
No, I cannot find that. I mean, if Amazon doesn't have it, I don't know who does.
Hey, guess what I just got to? The Kool-Aid recipe.
Oh, shit, that's right. We're only 45 minutes in.
Gee, that's all. Yeah, I shot for under 3 minutes last week and was proud of myself at 4. And
it's 3 minutes before we end it.
We're
so,
40 minutes off.
Go for it.
All right, for all you alcoholics waiting for the drink today. Carrie P sent it into us. Hippie juice. It sounds familiar, but then again, there's all kinds of hippies and they make all kinds of different juice.
Okay.
So it could be different hippie juice.
Okay.
Okay. 1 cup of watermelon vodka. 1/3 of a cup of triple sec. 1/3 of a cup of passion fruit rum. Didn't even know they made that.
Ooh.
And add prepared pink lemonade Kool-Aid to taste. 5 cups is what's recommended. And garnish with frozen strawberries.
Yum.
I would drink that.
I would drink that.
I think I would drink that.
What was it? What kind of rum?
Passion fruit rum and watermelon rum.
I never even knew there were things like that.
Apparently, you can buy anything these days. Oh, the farmers market's in Carnegie on Sundays from 12 to 3, right in front of Greg's pharmacy thing.
Oh, get out.
Yeah, and there was a lady there selling moonshine today.
Oh, my God. Well, we got free moonshine in the bags from the city paper party.
I know.
That was hysterical.
I got blackberry at home.
Oh, my God.
I can't wait. Oh, look, my first cough today. I've been doing good on the phlegm thing, haven't I? I've only been up since like 6:30, 7 o'clock. I had to drive all the way from Tionesta back. Yeah. Oh, and a shout out to Chuck, and I forget the other guy's name. I had a screw in my tire. Kept losing air.
What?
Nothing's open in the small town. So we're driving back to the camp after swimming, and there's this side of the road garage with one door up and a tow truck and two guys talking outside. So we just whipped it in there. I'm like, I see AAA on the side of your truck. And I got it fixed for free.
Oh, nice.
Oh, and I brought you a gift.
Oh, would you? What the hell's that?
A potato.
Gee, thanks.
It's a genuine campfire baked potato.
I don't want to like open it like
No,
right.
no, it's a cooked baked potato from camp.
I mean, I don't want to open it up and like ruin people's eardrums.
Well, don't open it.
Okay.
It's literally a baked potato.
Okay.
Unless you want to like chaw on it now.
I want to gnaw a potato right now.
I don't know what you do in your free time.
It's not gnawing a damn potato.
Oh, hi to Lisa P. She says, hi guys, loving your podcast. I've listened to 6 episodes today while cleaning up my art studio. It was messier than the cult. Episode 45, you literally made me snort coffee through my nose with your jokes about Woody Woodpecker. Come on, only in America do we have a cartoon character that all 3 of his names is a synonym for a dick or a penis. Come on. And we grew up on these. We weren't killing people. Come on.
I had no clue. You know what I mean?
Chris Smith. Well, I guess she won't care. There's lots of Smiths out there.
Oh, my God.
Enjoy a Dickel pickleback. It's a pickleback shot with a George Dickel, and I have no idea what that is, but I'm sure somebody will tell me about it at some point.
Dickel's a type of bourbon or scotch or something. It's a kind of alcohol.
I don't know.
No, it is. I just don't know what type of alcohol it is.
And we need to give a shout out to Mel S.
Mm-hmm.
Regarding the voting for the best of.
Yes.
She actually looked up Pittsburgh zip codes so that her vote would count. Okay.
Get out.
But she said, I don't know if they also checked IP addresses. If that's the case, my votes didn't count either. So.
Oh, but thank you for checking.
Thank you. I read that and was like, oh, thank you. Isn't that, I think they did that just to make sure that people that had like a wide social area or something maybe wouldn't be able to get all these votes from every place else like we did.
Yeah, but I don't know. I'm not going to say anything.
Thank you for everybody who voted for us.
Yes, thank you so much.
Thank you. Okay, now here's a question, Laura.
Mm-hmm.
And maybe if there's some attorneys out there, maybe you can help me. I'll throw you a chunk. Okay?
Okay.
Been thinking about it, though, and Kenny fell off of that building, and he got a large settlement, and the court ended up with most of it. Okay?
Right.
I personally got $15,000 for loss of consortium. You know what that is?
Mm-mm.
Loss of consortium means the man can't get it up and have sex anymore. I'm being compensated. $15,000. Yeah.
Well, damn.
Okay. Now, here's the thing. He married generic Jenny, remember?
Mm-hmm.
That was like half his age or
right.
more. But he's had 6 kids with her.
Oh.
So if consortium is lost, how's she getting pregnant?
I guess it wasn't lost.
Still want my damn money back. What?
I wish you could get that money back.
I really wish I do. Oh, and we got to give a shout out to a Landon T.
And for what?
Oh,
or
just for general? Listening.
Okay.
Just for listening. Just
okay.
for listening. They know who they are. So, shout out to ya. And I don't know. Oh, look. Holy shit, I did it. Drunk Deb wrote this.
Oh my God. Drunk Deb doesn't really care.
But
I really
Sober Deb wrote, I really do care.
Oh my God. So you're writing to yourself in different oh my God.
And then I put, seriously? Yes,
so,
like,
so
Drunk
you
Deb.
are writing in your notebook, answering, Sober Deb is answering Drunk Deb in the notebook.
Well, Drunk Deb was like, Drunk Deb doesn't really care. But Sober Deb had to pipe up and go, I really do.
Oh my God.
What?
Oh, you're killing me.
I did not partake of the apple pie moonshine that other people partook of. Let's say a lot of people were walking S's the other night.
Oh my God.
I guess I have more fun nowadays when I watch other people just get fried.
Mm-hmm.
You know? Yeah. How about you?
What about me?
Do you like watching people getting trashed?
I guess so. I mean, it can be very funny.
It's
very, yeah.
It's interesting.
Yeah.
Very interesting at times. So, do you have anything else?
No, I don't.
Good Lord, we got a very short episode. People are not going to be happy.
It's 50 minutes.
Well, it's not an hour and 5.
Okay, well.
Anybody out there who wants a t-shirt, a vinyl, wants to write us
Write to us.
postcard, snail mail, the postcards that I made a couple tweaks on the postcards, and I went in to pick them up so that I could write them out while I was on vacation.
Right.
They didn't print them yet.
What?
I was not happy.
Oh, man.
That's okay. So anybody who's wrote to us, sent us stuff, I am still waiting on postcards.
Okay.
But they're big ones.
Nice.
I got oversized ones. Take a whole real stamp.
Whoa.
Cactus stamp.
Okay.
Because we like cactuses.
Cacti.
Jesuses. Jesus. Jesuses. Jesus.
Oh, my.
All right. Well, guys, sorry it's a short episode. Remind everybody be kind to each other. I had a very hard, long partying weekend, so I guess that's why it's a little short. And Drunk Deb was getting lazy at the end. She had enough. She wanted to play Tower Jenga again.
Hey, I'm just glad that, like, our technical problems stopped.
They did, didn't they?
Knock on wood, yes. Okay.
Oh, and Pippi's not here to bark.
No, he's getting groomed.
Oh, nice. Okay, guys. P.O. Box. I got the hell out. P.O. Box 284, Oakdale, PA 15071.
Yep. Send us a letter or postcard.
And we'll send you stuff back too.
Yep.
Anybody who hasn't received anything, whether it's Patreon or...
We are getting to it.
Yeah. Throw Laura under the bus because she has all that information and has to give it to me.
You are always throwing me under the bus. Kiss my ass.
Hey, I brought you a potato.
Oh, that makes everything better.
You have to provide your own butter and sour cream, though.
God, I brought you a potato.
Brought you a potato.
Oh, my God.
All right, guys. Be kind, everybody, and we'll talk to you next week.
Okay, bye.
Bye.